Let's clean some mushrooms. Beautiful, really, chanterelles. Clean them up a little bit, and then I just gathered 5 pounds. That's 5 pounds of chanterelle mushrooms that I just gathered in the neighbor's yard, a little bit in Tom's yard. But yeah, now we realize that you can only eat so many mushrooms. Tom's giving some away, and then now we're gonna try drying to see how that goes. Get these, you know, clean enough. We might even just use the back of Tom's car because it's pretty hot in there. And yeah, it's been an amazing experience with mushrooms here, because not only does the neighbor have a big old patch of chanterelles coming up basically as we speak, right? I mean, that's a lot of mushrooms right there. That's a 12-inch diameter bowl, about 4 inches deep. But yeah, so it's really pretty fantastic. But we went to the Congaree National Park and saw an amazing display of mushrooms there, which I can't possibly name, except that Tom did determine that one of them was oyster mushrooms, which would be nicely edible too. Yeah, all kind of mushrooms, you know. I mean, what I would know as wood, you know, wood mushrooms. I don't even know what else, to tell you the truth. But I should, and hopefully will, gather the pictures in a whatever location and identify them, because it'd be great to know. Look at these things, they're like perfect. That's a beautiful mushroom. Yeah, they come in all shapes. So there's still some fresh ones out there that it'd be nice to get too. But I left them in there for the sake of these, because even if we miss them more or less as fresh, they dry a little if it doesn't rain too much. And then we get to dry some more, so either way. South Carolina in August. Looks like a lot of mushrooms grow. Look at this thing, it's big. Little bit dry, but you know, I think perfectly harvestable. Continue to dry them, and then whether you put them in the fridge or what, I don't know. That's what we'll have to figure out, if it's recommended to put in the fridge. I suppose we could get a scale and weigh them and then determine what is the optimum moisture content that I'm sure is written down somewhere in the annals. Some were pretty dirty. It's basically a splash zone. They're in the splash zone, and if it rains and there's bare soil, then they get splashed on. Yeah, I'm really interested in mushrooms lately, especially eating them. I love that. Tom and I met 2 guys that run what they call some mushroom company here in Columbia anyway, young guys, and it'd be nice to get a kit for Tom to grow some oysters or something, and then figure out how to inoculate like under the trees in the beds where the leaves decompose, you know, and then sort of make the environment friendly to mushroom, which I basically it's organic matter, right? Just got to have organic matter. But then how to spread their, spores and how to actually increase, production is a matter of making even a more perfect or, more appropriate environment for to live in. And I'd have to look again, but I saw that there was a pH, there's an optimal pH for mushrooms. And then this pH is pretty acid, like 5.1 to 5.5, and maybe it was 6 or 0.0 or something like that mushrooms need, which I have to look at that again, or what mushrooms like optimally. And then shoot, if that's the case, we could always add a little bit of lime, sprinkle a little bit in areas that they grow. I think that Tom has the neighbor man, he's about 80 years old, still in good shape, Bob, understanding that he has a beautiful resource there. But he wouldn't take any if we offered to him. It's just because it's foreign food to him, you could say. Which, that's how that goes. A lot of people have their, what they like, what they don't like. And the best dish that I've had so far is Tom's, like a pan with a lot of holes that goes on the grill, or whatever that thing is called. And yeah, it was really wonderful. He had, not an overabundance of onions, but then lots of mushrooms tossed with oil and maybe some salt, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, that on the grill, on a charcoal barbecue, was really delicious. So, you can get all fancy with a lot of different sauces and all that, and that's cool. Stir fry with all kind of veggies and maybe some meats too, of course. But, yeah, that was delicious so far. The way Petra did it up in, well, which I think was Lassen National Park, right at Juniper Lake, which is now burned up in this last week of wildfires. Same thing with the fire lookout tower that we all spent a little bit of time in talking with the volunteer, or well, with the employee actually, I think, that guy, about his life and all, just general about Lassen and stuff. Burned down. Freaking historic lookout tower is gone. It's a bummer. Alright, I better turn that video off. See ya.